guys, this is Tito back with another video on the Redmi Note 7 Pro, and today in this video I'm going to be showing you the latest OctaviOS version 2.0 official build based on Android 11. And let me tell you, this ROM is of course also available for Redmi K20 Pro and also the Redmi Note 5 Pro. So I'll link them below too, so you should not worry. But here let me tell you, this ROM comes with two different versions for the Redmi Note 7 Pro at least. And as you can see, there is the vanilla build and the GApps included build. And of course the vanilla build is less than 1 GB and the GApps included build is about 1.5 GB. As usual, of course, I have flashed the GApps included version, which is the 1.5 GB build. And if you want to flash the OctaviOS on your Redmi Note 7 Pro, you can click on the card right there. On the Redmi Note 7 Pro at least, I have been facing some issues here and there because of the IR Blaster, and mostly like on the Android 11 ROMs recently, there are some problems with the IR Blaster with couple of ROMs like the Pixel Plus UI as of right now, and also the latest Evolution X which I have flashed was just simply rebooting the device, like force rebooting the device after I am using any kind of like IR Blaster app, which is like this LED RGB remote app. So if I use this kind of app which uses the IR Blaster over here, that will result in a force close or like force reboot over here for the device itself. So that was really worrisome for me, and that I think is a kernel based issue, the stock kernel I mean, but here at least that's not an issue anymore. So on the latest OctaviOS, you can use the IR Blaster like with whichever app you want. It won't force reboot your device. That won't simply happen over here if you use the IR Blaster with any such app. So right now I would say if you are someone who uses the IR Blaster on the Redmi Note 7 Pro frequently, I would say just go with ROMs like Arrow OS or the latest Octavi OS. The first thing, let's begin with the stock launcher. Well, let me go into the settings first. As you can see, we get the Pixel launcher as the default launcher over here. So yes, no such like huge customizations like double tap to sleep anywhere on the home screen and such, but you can disable the suggestions if you want to from here. As you can see, I have disabled the suggestions, so that's why in the app drawer, if you swipe up from the home screen, of course you get the app drawer, and here the suggestions are not showing up right now, and you can see all the apps that I have installed over here. And to the left of the home screen, we have the Google's Discover page. It looks pretty cool, and you can swipe down to get more like kind of Google's Discover page stuff. And here if you swipe down, you get the quick toggles, and this quick toggles panel also looks pretty sweet in my opinion, and you can increase or decrease the brightness from here, of course. And let me show you, the widgets and stuff are working totally fine, and I have arranged these icons like this because of the wallpaper over here. So yeah, you can like arrange them like as usual however you want it, of course. Now let me show you the volume panel quickly. This is one more interesting part in my opinion, and as you are noticing, this volume panel looks pretty cool. And if I tap on this like expand kind of arrow, as you can see, it expands the volume panel too. So looks very cool, and you can put the phone into vibrate or silent from here, of course. And there is a live caption mode. So yeah, a lot of options are there. Right now, let me talk about the stock camera. Well, you get a Google camera over here, and as you can see, this works fine. And sometimes it takes a little bit of time to like get this kind of like the settings and stuff. So yeah, and here you can go into the settings, and let me show you which camera you get over here by default. So if you're looking at the version, this is the exact version over here, Google Camera Next, it says over here. And you can see the based on Google Camera version is 8.0.101. And there are a couple of settings that you can tweak, and you can go to the advanced settings too if you're a pro user or something. So yeah, you can definitely customize this. And let me show you with this Google camera over here, you can also zoom in. As you can see, 1x and 2x options are available. So that's cool, and even the front camera is working totally fine, no issues whatsoever with that. And here in the front camera settings, as you can see, there is the face retouching option, but this actually does not work, I think. And there is the motion photos and stuff, and we have the timer, and of course all the settings are available. And there is also night sight, which is working totally fine even with the rear camera and the front camera as well. Both should work with the night sight. And there is the portrait mode and stuff. Yes, the portrait mode does work too. So the stock camera here is the Google camera, and you can take very cool pictures with this camera. Yes, not a MIUI camera here, but you can definitely install a NX camera if you want to by just watching that video from the card right there. Now let me show you the quick settings panel. This is how it looks like again, and we have these many toggles, and you can edit and add multiple toggles from here. As you can see, there is the screenshot, sound, etc., and the weather and stuff. And you can scroll down and to get like more app kind of toggles over here, but I have added a couple of toggles. Let me show you by going back. Here we do have this Android 11's this kind of screen recorder where you have the device audio and the microphone audio both recording at the same time. So that's pretty cool. And we also have this reboot toggle over here. So if your power button is broken or something, you can directly reboot to recovery with this kind of button. And we have the heads up disabling option, of course, or you can enable them from here, of course, and the FPS info overlay. Now about this FPS info overlay, I like this thing that this is a white kind of font and it has this kind of like background shadow over here. And as you are noticing, it comes on the right side of the screen, not on the left side. So yes, in the UI, this is how it should look like. And even while you are gaming or something, it should appear pretty fine over here. And the refresh rate, I would say, of the FPS kind of numbers itself are pretty fast over here, like when compared to other ROMs in my opinion. So yeah, you can definitely use this FPS info toggle if you're into like gaming and stuff. Right now, let me jump into the settings. So this is how the settings panel looks like. And I would say, in my opinion, it looks pretty cool. And we have this like user's name over here. Of course, subscribe to KDN Tech if you haven't yet. And we have this kind of like separated kind of settings panel. Looks pretty cool in my opinion again. And on the bottom, you get the digital well-being and the Google stuff over here. But yes, you can, of course, get into the about section and stuff from here. This is the system and about. So here inside Android version, this is how it looks like. And as you can see, we have this 2.0 official OctaviOS written over there, and we have the specs of the device. Of course, Snapdragon 675, 4GB RAM, 64GB ROM variant this is. And the cameras are listed as 48 megapixel and 5 megapixel and 13 megapixel over here. And as you can see, we have the maintainer's name as Karthik Lal. So he is the developer or the maintainer of this ROM. So huge thanks to him for developing this kind of amazing ROM for the Redmi Note 7 Pro. And we have the device name, of course. The security patch is latest of February 5th, 2021, if you're noticing from the bottom over here. And the stock kernel version, if you're noticing, is 4.14.190 Smooth AF kernel. And of course, based on Android 11. Right now, let me jump into the system, and this is how it looks like. We also have the violet parts over here. So if you go into it, there is a smart charging mode. So you can limit your charging if you want to, like keep the battery's health good or something. And there is the SLNX mode. And we also have this display KCL. So you can customize the display KCL stuff. Let me go back. We have this FPS info overlay button again. And we have this enable fast charging via USB 3.0 port if you connect it to a USB 3 port on your PC or somewhere. So yeah, that is working. And there is also this clear speaker option, which actually like plays some high frequency tune to clear the speakers of the device itself. And there is the Mi sound enhancer. So with this, as you can see, there are like plenty of options for the headphones. Of course, the Mi audio DAC is working totally fine. The sound output via the headphone jack and Bluetooth as well should be fine too. And we have the presets option for the Mi audio DAC, and we have the vibration strength, so that's cool, and also the brightness of torch that you can customize. So let me actually show you. If I put it on like very low amount, as you can see right now, the harshness of the torch is not that much if you're noticing on my hand, as you can see. So I just turned off the torch again, and as you can see, I like increased the brightness to the maximum. And right now, if I turn on the torch, as you can see, the torch is super bright right now. So yeah, this feature works flawlessly over here, this brightness kind of thing. I like over here that you can customize the vibration intensity and the torch's intensity. Right now in the gestures, we have the power menu option, and there is the device controls and stuff. And this is how the power menu looks like, by the way. You also have this Google's kind of smart home thing over here on the power menu. If you tap on restart right now, as you can see, there is the directly rebooting option to recovery or fast boot. So you can directly reboot to recovery or fast boot from here. No issues with the advanced reboot. In the system navigation gestures, we have this like gesture navigation stuff, and over here in the settings, you also have this gesture bar length increasing option. Then there is the haptic feedback, back gesture animation and stuff, and amount of screen to be used with the back gesture, so you can customize that too. That's great. And we have the 2 and 3 button navigations, of course. And we have the quickly open camera too, so if you want to open the camera really quickly. And right now, if I double press the power button, as you can see, I'm in the camera already. So yeah, this is a very handy feature again. And we have the prevent ringing, adaptive playback, etc. And we have the Gboard as the default keyboard because this is the GApps included version of the ROM. The battery settings, this is how it looks like, and these animations do look amazing in the UI. And if you tap here, you can of course see the full usage of the battery, and then there is the thermal profile and stuff. And we have the battery saver, battery manager, smart charging, etc. And if you scroll down, the good thing is you have the last full charge thing. Then we have the screen on time, And of course, you can also see the design battery capacity and the current battery capacity and the charging cycles too. And then there is the battery temperature. So these are the things that you don't find in most ROMs. So that's great that we have all this information over here in the battery settings. Let me go back. We have the display settings. We have the brightness level, night light, and adaptive or auto brightness. And inside styles and wallpapers, this is how it looks like. You can customize a theme from here, and as you can see, plethora of fonts that you get from here. Let me go back. We have the wallpaper section, and from here we have this kind of like the default wallpaper, and we have all these live wallpapers too that you can apply from here, and you don't have to download them, I guess. And we have the colors, font size, display size, etc. And we have the lock screen option, and here we have the wake screen for notification option. No always on display kind of thing, because the Redmi Note 7 Pro has IPS display, so here it's just like not worth it. And we have the double tap to wake and pocket detection option, and we have the display cutout mode, and the clock style changing option is also there. And as you can see, plethora of clock styles that you get over here. So yeah, you won't be having like any issues with the customizations, even for the like lock screen clock styles, I mean. And here in the sound settings, if you go down, we have the ringtone changing option, of course, then the volume steps. And if you scroll down more, we have the media, phone, ringtone, etc. option. And we have the dial pad tone, screen locking sound, charging sound, etc. and the touch vibration, screenshot sound disabling option. You can of course disable the screenshot sound from here. And if you scroll down more, of course, you get the Octavi Lab. And here is all the customizations that are there. And as you can see, it shows this welcome kind of message. Looks cool. So the Octavi Lab is the customization area. So first you get the system, and here on the bottom, as you can see, we have all these like buttons or the tabs. There you can customize everything. So first you get the Octavi themes, and from here you can change the accent color. And yes, I have changed this accent kind of like color from the picker. And as you can see, you can choose from these many colors, like plethora of colors, whatever you want to choose. You just tap here, and that the whole UI will adapt with that accent color. And we have the dark theme option, and this color bucket, if you tap here, it just force closes. I don't know why, but in the dark theme, let me show you, everything is completely dark. It's not gray or something. So yeah, in the headline and body fonts, as you can see, we have plethora of options again, and pixel font and stuff, Samsung One, Google Sans, everything else is there. So a lot of fonts. And we have the icon shapes too, these many icon shapes that you get. And then we have the switch appearance style. This is the toggles in the like settings option, and you can change the toggles in the settings, of course. And here we have the brightness slider, so you can change this brightness slider style to whatever you want. By default, it's default, of course. And there is a meme rounded, so let me show you. This is gonna be looking like MIUI or something, as you can see. And we have the OS or OxygenOS kind of brightness slider. So I think it's okay. So this is how it's looking like right now. And we have the system wide animation. So this is the whole UI animation changing option. You can disable all the transition animations if you want to. And here in the quick settings panel, we have the column and row number customization. Then we have the new dent style, vibrate on toggle touch, etc. Let me go back. We have the ambient stuff over here. As you can see, there is the show on new notification and stuff. This is the edge lighting kind of thing, I guess. And we have the screenshot type changing option, so you can change it to drag selection and stuff, but I have the default one set. And we have the scrolling cache, so you can change that if you want to. And right now, let me go into the lock screen, and here we have the fingerprint authentication vibration and error vibration as well. Then we have the lock screen charging info, and if you scroll down, we have the lock screen notification count, and then we have the media art and stuff. Then we have the weather option. If you want to show the weather on the lock screen, you can enable that. And here in the buttons, we have the home button when ringing and stuff. But again, let me tell you, I forgot to mention that in the lock screen kind of settings, there is no option to actually get the always unlock with the fingerprint scanner. So yeah, that's kind of how it is, I guess, over here in the lock screen settings. In the buttons, we have the home button when ringing option. Then we have the volume button customization and stuff. Inside over here, we have the volume panel changing option too. So by default, the stock one looks like this. And you can also change it to AOSP, compact audio and tiled. Not going to show you everything over here, but I'm just showing you the settings. And here we have the gestures, and there we have the toggle torch when the screen is off. So long press power button toggle torch is working super fine. And swipe to take screenshot, I have enabled that. And as you can see, there is the swipe to take screenshot. There is also the scrolling feature. So let me open Twitter and show you the scrolling feature if it actually works. So here, if I do this, as you can see, it takes the screenshot. So right now, if I tap scroll, it will give me the long screenshot option. So if I tap long screenshot, as you can see, it keeps scrolling with the screenshot. If you're noticing, so this is how much right now it's working. Doesn't work like all the time, but yes. So as you can see, this is the screenshot it took and it is quite long in my opinion. So yeah, the scrolling screenshot is actually working fine. And there is a double tap to sleep on status bar and double tap to sleep on lock screen. Both should be working fine here. Let me go back. We have the power menu customization, and from here we have some like screenshot, screen record, etc. enabling option, and we have the nav bar customizations too. Let me go back and we have the status bar customization, and first we have the status bar items or the icons. There we have the headset, Bluetooth, etc. icons. Let me go back. We have the clock and date customization over here. You can do something over here, of course, AM, PM style, etc. Then we have the traffic indicators. Then we have the configure status bar battery stuff. So you can enable the battery percentage from here, and there is the battery icon style changing option. Yes, of course, there is no big dotted circle or something, but yes, there are plenty of them like the small circle and stuff. And also the battery percentage when charging option is there, and you can enable that. And there is the flash kind of icon, or you can enable any icon over here whenever you are charging the device, I guess. And there is the show notification count option. Inside notification, we of course have the heads up kind of disabling option. Then we have dialer heads up, then notification headers. If you don't like dialer heads up, you can disable that. And there is the battery charging light customization too, so you can enable the notification LED even in do not disturb mode if you want to. Then we have the show notification count again, and the data disabled 4G instead of LTE, and the VoLTE icons and the VO Wi-Fi icons as well. You can choose. As you can see, there are these many VO Wi-Fi icons, and there are these many VoLTE icons. So yeah, a lot of options regarding these. And we have the MISC settings. Then we have the gaming mode over here. Then wake up on charge, you can disable that if you want to easily. And we have the charging animation too, so that's great. And double tap to wake on doors and stuff is there. So yes, that's all about the customizations present on this ROM. Let me go back. Going back is actually easy with that like top arrow. Let me scroll down. We have the security settings, and here you get the fingerprint and the face unlock as well. First, let me show you the fingerprint scanner speed. Of course, I'm going to use the double tap to sleep on the status bar. As you can see, it works fine, and even the double tap to wake is working fine too, so that's not an issue. Let me actually show you again. Double tap to wake is working totally fine here, no issues with that, and double tap to sleep even on the lock screen works fine. So right now, if I tap the fingerprint scanner, and as you can see, the fingerprint scanner speed is fairly fast. Let me show you one more time. And as you are noticing, even with my right hand's index finger, so did you just notice that the fingerprint scanner speed is not bad at all, and it unlocks the device very fast, no issues whatsoever. The fingerprint scanner speed is very reliable in my opinion here. So I just completed the setup of the face unlock, so let me just try it. Let's just double tap on the screen, and as you can see, whenever it wakes up, it unlocks the device right away. Let me show you one more time. I just double tapped and the face unlock is working flawlessly. Now on the Pixel Plus UI, I have faced after setting a face unlock, the fingerprint scanner was not working. Let me actually try that out. I have done the face unlock. So right now, if I tap the fingerprint scanner, it still works. So no issues like that over here, as you can see. Yep, it's working super fine with the face unlock, and the fingerprint both are working super fine. No issues whatsoever with the unlocking stuff. Yes, I have talked about the LED RGB remote app at the beginning. So IR Blaster or using the IR Blaster on OctaviOS on the Redmi Note 7 Pro is not a problem. Works super fine. Next thing is the DRM info, and here the DRM info of course stays L1 if you have not broken it, of course. And as you can see right now on my Redmi Note 7 Pro, the DRM info shows as L1. So you can stream Netflix or Amazon Prime videos, 1080p without any issues if you have not broken it again. Talking about safety net test, right out of the box, it passes the safety net test as you can see. So Google Pay or any other banking apps can be used right out of the box on this ROM. No issues with banking apps either. Now, if you're worried about the performance, I would say the daily driving performance on this ROM should be pretty great. And here are the Antutu and Geekbench score. As the video has become too long, I will not show you the RAM management test and stuff, but it's normal, it's fine. The RAM management is working super fine. But according to the benchmarks, I would say the gaming performance should be pretty good too. So Google Assistant works right after you swipe from these corners, as you are just noticing from anywhere in the UI. As you are noticing, Google Assistant works. But let's try with the keyword OK Google. So for some reason, OK Google keyword is not bringing Google Assistant, but I'm not really sure if it will work. But normally, if you swipe up from these corners, Google Assistant should be working fine. So thank you so much for watching this video, guys, on the Redmi Note 7 Pro, the latest OctaviOS. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and please share this video with your friends if you want to show them that the OctaviOS is great for the Redmi Note 7 Pro and even for other devices too. And please subscribe to the channel if you have not yet. This is T2 from KDN Tech signing off for today, and I'll be catching you guys in the next one. Bye bye now.